Welcome back to AutoVibesReviews. If you think you've seen the pinnacle of Ferrari performance, buckle up, because today we're stepping inside something that feels less like a car and more like a thunderbolt shaped in carbon fiber. This is the 2026 Ferrari F80, a LaFerrari successor that doesn't whisper its intentions, it roars them. Stick around. By the end, you'll know why this thing is both terrifying and utterly irresistible. From the front, the F80 is pure intent. The nose slices the air with a low, flat plane broken by a black bonnet band that calls back to Ferrari's classic Daytona styling. But everything else is modern aggression. Ultra-thin daytime LEDs, enormous air intakes, and a splitter that looks like an aircraft canard. The front doesn't just look like it makes downforce, it practically yawns at the asphalt and dares it to slow the car down. The detailing is purposeful. Vents and sculpted channels hide active aero elements that move with speed. So the face you see crawling through traffic isn't the same one that meets the racetrack. Turn your head and the profile tightens into a racing silhouette. The F80's greenhouse sits low and compact, while the rear hips swell like a sprinter flexing before a race. The doors, dramatic, almost theatrical when they open, reveal a chassis that's visibly race-bred. Exposed carbon touches, a rearward ride height, and wheels tucked deep into the arches. From the side you also notice the integration of the electric front axle motors and packaging that keeps weight centralized. It's Ferrari engineering that screams, light where it matters, heavy on the obsession for balance. The rear is the punctuation mark, a wide diffuser, aero blades, and a taillight treatment that's restrained until you see the exhaust portals. There's a nod to Le Mans prototypes here, and that's no accident. Ferrari drew direct inspiration from its 499p Le Mans program, and you can see the race heritage carved into the deck lid and under tray. The whole back end is sculpted to do one job: harvest airflow and translate it into grip. It looks like a machine built for corners, and the numbers back that up. Slide inside and the F80 is an exercise in focused luxury. It's not about lavish excess. It's about ergonomics tuned for someone who expects to drive fast. Often, the cockpit wraps around the driver, minimal touch surfaces, a steering wheel packed with switches, exposed carbon, and racing-style seats that marry comfort with restraint. Tech is integrated, not dominant. Screens are driver-centric and telemetry-ready. Ferrari's craftsmanship is obvious everywhere. Leathers, stitch patterns, and the smell of hot carbon after a hard lap. Now the part that makes journalists lose sleep. The powertrain. Under that sculpted hood lives a 3.0-liter, 120-Grauder V6 derived straight from Ferrari's 499p Le Mans program. And it's one of the most extreme production engines ever built. On its own, the V6 produces roughly 888 horsepower, and paired with electric motors on the front axle and a kinetic recovery unit, the system output soars to around 1,184 horsepower. The result is obscene in the best possible way. Virtually instantaneous torque up front from the E-axle, a screaming high-revving V6 at the back, and a drivetrain that blends motorsport tech with road legality. 0-62 mph is in the low 2-second range, and top speed is north of 210 mph. It's astonishing how compact displacement and hybridization make more power than many legacy V12s ever dreamed of. Driving it feels like being tuned into a new frequency. The steering is wired to deliver precision. The chassis is telephone line taut, and the torque distribution between the electric front axle and the V6 rear is astonishingly well integrated. The F80 behaves like a car the moment you ask it to, not like a rocket you need to negotiate. The active aero and adjustable suspension let it switch personalities. Docile enough to cruise, savage enough to punish Nürburgring lap times. And because Ferrari planned for longevity, yes, even the battery, serviceability and future battery swaps were on the brief, so the car can evolve rather than expire. Of course, this level of engineering comes with a price tag that keeps it exclusive. The F80 sits in a hypercar stratosphere. Initial pricing lands around the multi-million-dollar mark. with production strictly limited to under 1,000 units. Each example will be tailored to its owner, which means options can push the final figure significantly higher. This isn't a car you shop for, it's a statement you commission. So what's the verdict? The Ferrari F80 is the rare kind of car that feels like an evolution and a revolution simultaneously. It honors Ferrari's past with design cues and Le Mans DNA, yet pushes into a future where small capacity, high output engines and electrified systems redefine what a supercar can be. It's visceral, terrifyingly fast, and engineered to an almost obsessive degree. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more hot takes, in-cabin sound checks and track impressions from the world's most extreme machines, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell. AutoVibesReviews is where we chase down the heartbeat of every supercar. Drop a comment. Would you park one in your garage if money was no object, or is this one too raw even for you? Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep your foot light and your vibes auto-vibe.